this whole AI movement, what are the dangers? What are the strengths that you see MSPs can use to maximize the opportunity?
While AI is definitely beginning to grow, we see it as an augmentation tool, right? I mean, if you have a problem on one end where acquiring massive labor, at a high level to grow is one of your larger challenges, what can you do around AI investments in order to help that, right? The more AI you have, the more you can make your existing employees more efficient, the less, obviously, you need on a growth path.
Welcome to this episode of Sunny Silver Linings. Today's guest is Rob Stephenson, CEO of Thrive Networks. Rob takes us on his 20-year journey of helping firms experience rapid growth, escalating EBITDA numbers, and record returns for his shareholders. And remember, if you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe, like, and share. Now, without further ado, here's your host, the founder and CEO of IT by Design, Mr. Sunny Kela. Over to you, Sunny.
Hi, Rob. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sunny. How are you?
I am doing well, my friend, and hope your week is going well.
Fantastic. I can't complain.
That's so awesome. So I'm super excited about our conversation because you travel a lot. You talk to a lot of MSP partners, thought leaders in the channel, and you are the top thought leader in the channel.
Well, thank you for saying that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. What we're going to talk about, especially the topic today, as we decided, Rob, is more on the opportunity in the channel when it comes to M&A, when it comes to cybersecurity. So that is a really hot topic. And a lot of things are changing with the very high speed this year in this
Yes.
The M&A, cybersecurity, everything with AI coming up, with the recession. So a lot of moving pieces. So I want to pick your brain today. What are you experiencing? Where you are today? Where you're going? But before we go there, can you please share your career journey? A lot of people know you in the channel, but for those people where they don't know you, I want them to know a little bit about your background.
Sure, that's great. Thanks, Sonny. Appreciate the opportunity. My background goes back to really the 1990s. I was in telecom, and in the 2000s, I was fortunate enough to be an early partner in a data center business. It really grew out of an ISP that we sort of started building out data center space, building a private cloud. We built out, managed security services with, FortiGates and handing off Ethernet to our co-location customers and managed IDS and IPS profiles and storage as a service. So we were a data center company, very, very focused on managed services. Was fortunate enough with my partners to sell that company in 2012 to private equity. After that, I was kind of locked up for a little while. I was just doing consulting. It was very choppy up and down revenue, product sales, projects. It was good months, good years, bad years, and really selling more security and cloud. At that point, really recognized that there was an opportunity to start building a platform. And in 2016, the new version of Thrive was launched. Since then, we've done 18 acquisitions and really grown to, north of $250 million of revenue and, over 1,000 employees. So very excited about the journey. We've made strategic investments in cybersecurity, SOC, building our own SOC and our private cloud footprint along the way. And feel like, between M&A and the security investments, they've really been kind of the things that are paying the biggest dividends today.
Wow. That's a beautiful journey, Rob. And when it comes to 18 transactions starting 2016 and then 250 million plus revenue, not too many people have created this type of success. And first of all, congratulations to you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's all about good people, Sonny. We have a great team here at Thrive.
That's awesome. Yeah, it takes a village. And so this is not the first time you're facing the dangers that are coming our way from a recession point of view. A lot of things have changed, even in the channel that we serve. You did talk about wars. You did talk about telecom. The copier companies. So that transformation that happened, and the company kind of leveraged the new way of doing things for SMBs. So this is not the first time that you will be facing this challenge, because I do see that a lot of things will get impacted with what's going on from the economic climate point of view, from the chat GPT climate point of view. So I want to start with my first question in terms of when we talk about just focus on M&A and cybersecurity, what are the top 3 opportunities that you see in M&A and cybersecurity in the channel?
Sure. Great question. So I'll start with cybersecurity. I think, again, Thrive was well financed with, our original private equity partner of MC Partners, who's still an investor and our majority shareholder now is Court Square Capital Partners. But I think the opportunity with cyber in general, there's been so many, call it first generation cyber companies, the Hershovik Group, TrustWave, the Dell SecureWorks, AlertLogic that brought out all these SIM and EDR tools. It's really now about, the opportunity to go in and build a cybersecurity program for customers, right? As MSPs, we're all focused typically on doing everything for our client. So going in and selling just EDR or just SIM or just a firewall with IDS and IPS, those are point-in-time solutions, which I think, a lot of larger businesses, they may buy these all over the place and then struggle with trying to coordinate and manage them. The real opportunity, I think, for the MSPs and the MSSPs is really building a program, a comprehensive program that starts with end-user security, mail security, security awareness training and phishing exercises, right? Doing, web filtering, EDR, XDR now, SIM, ingesting all that into an AI engine. Thrive has made a large investment in ServiceNow. We work with SaaS Alerts and other leaders in the MSP industry to ingest all these alerts and data and display it in a single dashboard in ServiceNow. And I think taking all that data to make either AI-driven decisions, lock, quarantine, ask questions first, zero trust decisions, or allowing our, eyes on glass SOC engineers to make those decisions for our client is going to result in a much better endpoint game for clients around cyber safety. So I really feel like it's the big opportunity is building cyber programs, not just selling a single cyber SKU.
Yeah, that's great. What are the dangers that you see? So like putting things in the frame of with the economic climate that is going to be different in 2023, and then this whole AI movement. So what are the dangers? What are the strengths that you see MSPs can use to maximize the opportunity?
It's a great question, Sonny. I hear this a lot from the private equity community. They say, hey, with AI, what's going to happen? What's the future of MSPs and service delivery nature? While AI is definitely beginning to grow, we see it as an augmentation tool, right? I mean, if you have a problem on one end where acquiring massive labor, at a high level to grow is one of your larger challenges, what can you do around AI investments in order to help that, right? If you can make all of your employees 20, 30, 40% more efficient, essentially you've been able to grow, at a much faster pace than your competitors. So the ROIs that we've had so far have indicated we've been able to grow our revenue by significantly more than that without having to add the additional labor. So our thesis has matched out, right? The more AI you have, the more you can make your existing employees more efficient, the less obviously you need on a growth path.
Yeah, that's good. So there are a lot of changes coming up in 2023. How do you see what's coming our way impacting M&A or state of the M&A in the channel?
Sure. At a high level, larger deals, PE-backed platforms, probably companies with north of, $50 million of revenue and, at least 15 to 20% EBITDA margins. I think there has been an impact, right? I think, when money costs 4 or 5% and now all of a sudden you're going out and borrowing at 8, 9, 10, 11%, obviously that impacts what you can pay on a multiple. In general, I think there's no real tax concerns right now. We've seen deal flow on the M&A side over the last 6 months slow considerably. So I would say 2021 is the busiest I've ever been in my M&A career, 20 years plus. And I would say, probably November, December was about as slow as that we had seen it. It's starting to pick up right now. I think there's a little bit of pause, a little bit of reset on some of the higher, larger ones, but I think most MSPs that are looking for a liquidity event, hopefully, that have, call it $5 million of EBITDA or less. I think it's business as usual, full steam ahead, and a lot of money out there chasing too few assets. So,
thank you for sharing that. And my thinking, one thing that I see, Rob, MSPs are not doing enough is building value based on IP. They're building value based on EBITDA. Is there anything that you are doing or anything that you suggest MSPs can consider where the valuation that they're building in their companies is not only just EBITDA based, but there is some IP based value that they can create by filing some patents to, their unique way of doing stuff?
Sure. So I think, it's a good question, Sonny. We've looked at, probably over 300 or 400 MSPs that we're considering, a liquidation event over the last, 6 or 7 years. And I think in general, it just depends on what you're doing. If you're looking to become a platform, I believe that you could get some value for that. If you are looking to basically, roll yourself into a larger entity and allow your employees to have a great upside track and plug into somebody like a Thrive or the Integrises of the world, the VC3s, the other larger PE-backed platforms in the channel, then I don't know if it gives you a lot, because essentially they already have their platform built. There may be some unbelievable things that work great. Anything you can do around APIs, common APIs that isn't too crazy in the secret sauce, that allows automation and coordination, dashboards, reports, visibility, that break gauge type things that your clients are looking for, will always add value and provide another turn or so on that EBITDA. But it really just depends on what your goals are, what you need for the business, and how innovative the idea is.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to like you looking for candidates in the channel, so I want to talk a little bit about what you normally are looking for. So what's your criteria? Who's the right candidate for you? And second, is there anything changing in your criteria and your selection in 2023?
Sure. Just to start, I don't think our 2023 selection criteria has changed. Thrive has been very focused both vertically and geographically. We've basically built out everything from Maine down to Florida. We're obviously looking to get a little bit more depth in the Carolinas. Right now, today, we've got a few employees and some offices there, but we haven't acquired anybody in the Carolinas or Atlanta. Those are probably the markets that we're focusing in on. We have offices in all the major financial markets. We're in Hong Kong, we're in Singapore, we're in Sydney, Australia, we're in the Philippines, we're also in the UK and London. So I think looking at other big markets from a financial standpoint, whether it's Paris or Luxembourg or Munich or perhaps Dublin, those are in Toronto, those are markets from a financial services vertical standpoint we'd like to get into. But from a geographic standpoint, we're really trying to fill in that kind of Carolina area and then start building from Texas up to Chicago.
Yeah, that's a big machine. Yeah, Rob, right there, like international expansion, lot going on. I mean, I don't know how you keep up with everything with that type of growth and still be smiling and healthy and taking vacation.
We got a great team here, Sonny. We have a great team, right? It's all about the team.
No, absolutely.
Again, in our industry, it's all about people. So when you meet good entrepreneurs that have built good businesses and they have good management teams underneath them, we're really highly attracted to them, regardless of geography or vertical or focus. It's really, we just want to find great people to join the team.
Yeah, no, it's all about people, especially in this business.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one question that I'm normally being asked, Rob, is, Sunny, should I hold or should I sell? So how do you see this kind of moving forward this year, next year? Is that PE money going to continue to come at the speed that it was coming in the last 2-3 years? That's part of the question.
Yep.
But then also, what's your advice for those our MSP friends where they're kind of really confused a little bit, but they need some advice if they do want to exit in the next, let's say, 2 to 3 years, and they just need to decide if they exit this year or next year or the following year?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think the number one question an entrepreneur who's running an MSP needs to decide is, do I want to run this as a lifestyle business, or at some point, do I want to build something to an exit? And that's really what I ask anyone that's even just consulting or I get introduced to or meet. And assuming that an entrepreneur, as you framed up earlier, wants to make an exit in the next 3 years, my advice would be, is to really sit down and decide, all right, what are you looking for in this liquidity event? Are you trying to maximize value? Are you trying to find a great home for your employees? Are your customers now starting to outgrow you, where you may need a larger, more sophisticated brand and company to help you deliver some of these complex security and cloud services? It helps to talk to, an M&A advisor. There's a lot of those to get an idea of, hey, roughly what am I worth today? And, where I try to help entrepreneurs understand is, if you've been doing the same thing for 5 years, and I hear this all the time, well, my next 5-year plan is going to do this. I'm like, all right, you've been doing it for 10 years. How have your other 2 5-year plans worked out? And then I say, well, what would it look like if you were to take, let's say, 20 or 30% of the cash that you would receive from a liquidity event now and roll it into stock into a Thrive? And do you think that we can help you grow that 20 or 30% or 40%, whatever number you want to come up with, rollover faster than you could do on your own? the power of private equity and good investments and good platforms are going to make that money grow faster than you probably can grow the valuation on your own. In the vast majority of the cases, not every case, but in many cases, rolling over into the right partner and strategically growing that investment at a faster pace is going to provide you with taking some apples off the table and then rolling some forward to give you the best risk reward future blend of mix.
Yeah, and how do you see the PE companies' overall hunger to continue to invest in the channel this year? Do you see that interest being at that level, or is changing?
No, I still see a lot of interest out there. There's a lot of tire kickers. There are some very serious PE platforms, probably, in my opinion, 20, 30 of them that are sophisticated, understand the space, and are making investments or about to make investments. I think the companies that are making those investments have tons of private equity opportunities. And if you're integrating the businesses, I mean, Thrive has 15 people on our integration team, and we're making the investments to actually integrate the companies. If you're making those integration investments and making it into one company, the sky's the limit in terms of platforms that are interested in investing. So I think, PEs are along the space. I see this as maybe we're in the third inning of a 9-inning baseball game in the MSP roll-up industry space, and feel like we've got another 7 to 10 years of solid growth before AI and all these other things that we can prognosticate about all day long may impact it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. With the technology adoption going up, I think this space is here to stay. Aligned with your thoughts in terms of more and more technologies being used by businesses and individuals. More technology solution providers will be required. It's just what do you support, what do you build may change, but those bodies will definitely be required for AI Brain to work for any offerings, right? So you do need people always. It's just overall, it may change from one thing to another thing. So totally agree with that thought. Thank you so much, Rob, for coming to my show and sharing your very valuable experiences and insights. I truly appreciate you.
And thanks, Sonny. Thanks for being a thought leader in the industry and building the podcast and giving everybody an opportunity to have open sharing and forums and really grow the channel and help everybody moving forward. Thanks for your help.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you for watching Sonny's Silver Linings. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.